YouTube. My name is Carly Fries, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I read in June. There weren't many of them. Why? Because I finally read the two new books that I was most anticipating to be released, and they came out in May, and I did not have time to read them, so I did this month, and this morning is when I finished the second one, so I'm still kind of like high off of that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the first book. I'm going to give a non-spoilery review, and then I will talk about it, spoilers included. Same for the second book. So if you haven't read these books yet and you don't want to be spoiled, just go in the description box and you'll see the timestamps for what is safe to watch and what you might not want to watch unless you read these books already. The book that I first read at the beginning of June was book 2 in the Dark Artifices by Cassandra Clare, which is Lord of Shadows, and it's a huge book. Both of these books are huge, and this has been such a long time coming since Lady of Midnight first came out, and the next book is coming out like 2019. There's too much space in between books, like you can't keep doing this to us, Cassie. I think I liked it just as much as I liked the first one. It's impossible not to fall in love with each and every one of Cassie's books because there's always characters from all of the universe that end up coming back. So even if you aren't, in love with the characters in this book, which I'm not in love with, I do obsess over some of these characters, not as much as the two other series though, that's for sure. But like you always have people coming back, like Magnus and Alec and Clare and Jace, and unfortunately Tessa and Jem did not make an appearance in this book, but I'm assuming in the next one they will pop back up after they're done with whatever mission they are on. There's about 1 million characters in here. It's impossible not to relate to at least one, not to fall in love with every single one. There's just so many good characters. Cassie's the best at making you obsess over characters, especially anyone with the last name Herondale. Just saying. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. There was like 1 million different subplots. There's the whole Centurion thing, and then there's a whole little bit in Fairy, and half the book is actually set in the London Institute, which brings back so many memories from the Infernal Devices prequel series. The best way to describe a book by Cassie Clare that's in this series is just nostalgic. Every single time that you open up one of these books and start reading it, it just feels like home, like memories. It's basically the closest thing that I can compare to reading Harry Potter. Honestly, Shadowhunter Chronicles universe itself is my favorite book thing next to Harry Potter. So if you haven't read this book yet, I'm now going to talk about some things that I liked or disliked that, were in the book. So if you haven't read the book, you're not gonna know about them, and you probably don't want to know about them. First of all, the stupid Parabatai curse. So apparently if you guys don't fight the Parabatai curse and you get together romantically, you both become so powerful and that you become evil. Why does being in love make you evil? I don't understand why it's preferable that you aren't in love with your Parabatai, because it can be a distraction in your fight, because you're supposed to work off your Parabatai. If you're so worried about them because you're in love with them and not just because you love them as a Parabatai, then yeah, sure, you can be distracted in a fight, but why does it make you evil? And you just know that that's what's gonna happen in the next book. Julian is already a borderline sociopath. Kieran knows it. Everyone kind of knows their brother's a little nuts. And all he needs is one little push over the edge, and he's gonna be bad. I don't know about Emma, but Julian is not great things in the future, I'm assuming. So that's gonna be fun to look forward to. Okay, next, Magnus and Tessa and all the warlocks are getting sick. No. Touch Magnus or Tessa and I swear to God. Like, Cassie knows that, like, if she goes for the warlocks, it's gonna hit home the hardest because Tessa and Magnus are two fan favorites and they're both warlocks. Come for our favorite characters. Okay, so those deaths at the end of the book, like, it's all kind of smooth sailing. I mean, you know, Malcolm kind of suffers somewhere in there, but nobody cares about him. It just goes to the end and it's like, last 5 pages, dead. Like, oh, okay, like everything is going all right. Oh, okay, ooh, a couple pages left. Wonder what's gonna what? Oh, okay, that's really sad. Wait, what the freak? Nobody likes Robert. Nobody liked Robert Lightwood. He's always been a dick, but like, he's Alex's dad. That's so sad. And then I don't really care about Livy. Like, no one really does. Next to Drew, she's kind of like meh of the Blackthorns, but she's Ty's twin. And people are standing Ty, and it's devastating for anyone to lose their twin, especially because he was just kind of warming up to the idea of being her parabatai, and now she's dead. People are assuming that the direction that they're going in is that Kit and Ty are going to become parabatai now, but then there's the other half of us, myself included, who are like, okay, but Kit keeps talking about how damn attractive Ty is. Are they gonna be parabatai? Or are they gonna fuck? I'm on the fence about it. I kind of feel like, unfortunately, they're probably gonna be parabatai, but like, you could see Kit's like, oh my god, Ty's beautiful. Ty is gorgeous. Look at this boy who's like perfect. And it's like, you don't just say that about your friends. Also, side note, I love Ty. Like, Ty and Kit are my favorite characters in this series, which is great because the series, yes, another trilogy that's supposed to take place after these, is supposed to have Ty and Kit as the main characters, which is great because not only does that mean more Ty and Kit, but it means that they survive the next book, which you know, is reassuring for me personally. Oh, I was kind of disappointed that Simon and Isabel were literally not in the book at all. Oh, and that Clary thing. Just casually like, yeah, Jace asked me to marry him, but I said no. Because I think I'm gonna die. Where did that come from? You're not a seer, Clary. Like, stop talking like you're gonna die, because A, it's stressing all of us out, and B, like, you don't know that. Like, marry Jace, okay? And now, the book that I just finished reading and is a little more like fresh in my mind is A Court of Wing and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, which is the third and final book in the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. It, as always, is so beautifully written, and like the characters are all so like well developed, honestly, except for Tamlin. Tamlin is like the most one-dimensional character because he's supposed to represent the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, right? Except he like never like grows up. Era is such a good female protagonist. Honestly, Nesta, her sister, is like, she deserves a series of her own, and there's supposed to be another trilogy in this universe that is like a follow-up, although I did hear rumors that some of it takes place before, so I'm not entirely sure. But if that's true, I'm crossing my fingers for a Nesta protagonist. My friend Cameron read it before me and he said it was sad, I was gonna cry, but I didn't. One thing that Sarah J. Maas is really good at is writing sex scenes. She's not that great at writing like really heart-wrenching, emotional, like sad scenes. Kind of made the ending a little anticlimactic in my opinion. So all I'm gonna say for the non-spoiler section is just that this was such a good book. It's probably my least favorite of the series, but that does tend to happen with final books in trilogies. It just is, I guess, because you're just trying to, like, you know, go ahead and just wrap it up. but the second one, A Court of Mist and Fury, still the best book in the series. And then it would be A Court of Thorns and Roses and then this for me. Nonetheless, this is like a 5-star series, like don't get me wrong. Like read the hell out of this series because it's fantastic. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. If you haven't read the book, you can go now. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so basically, the reason why I didn't cry or feel many things at the end is because I kind of knew that Rhysand and Feyre were going to survive in the end. So when he dies, I was like, oh, well, he's gonna come back then, because I heard that he was still alive in the end of the book. Okay, I think that if I hadn't known that, I would have probably like gasped or like just kind of sat there like for like a good like 30 seconds, like not knowing what to do. I might have teared up, but like there isn't much time between him dying and Feyre being like, okay, well guys, like give him, you know, do the same thing you did for me, like let's get on with it, and then they just do it and then he's back. Like it's really, like it just resolves itself really fast. It doesn't really give you enough time to like process emotions, so it's like, oh okay, like we're good, like nothing to worry about. Also, everyone survives in the end. Like all of the main important characters, with the exception of Feyre's father, which that's the only part that I teared up at, to be honest, is when they're like looking at the armada like that's coming in and they're like, oh, who's leading it? And they're like, oh, he calls himself the Prince of Merchants. I'm like, oh my god, he's like leading a war to come help them, like so perfect. And then he gets his neck snapped like 5 minutes later. The fact that everyone pretty much survives in the end, like someone should have died. I'm not saying I wanted them to die, but like that's just how it goes with books. Like you can't just have your cake and eat it too. You can't just have your Asriel and your Cassian and your Nesta and your Elaine and your Rhysand and your Mor and your Amren and eat them too. I don't know where I was going with that, but Cassian almost dies, Asriel almost dies, Amren pretty much dies, Rhysand dies. They all managed to survive in the end, which is like perfect. Like I am really happy in the sense that it's nice for once to get a like perfect, pretty much like ending. Although since there are more books in the series, who knows, maybe it's not that perfect, like it'll continue in the next books. But like for now, like it's a perfect ending, which is a great change of pace, but not a great choice for Sarah in that it's less, you know, like, oh, like it's less emotional, and like, you know, fans really like that like heart-wrenching, you know, part of the end. Like yeah, pretty much everything good happens, but then there's like that little twinge of like despair. You know, I kind of think it's like tacky, like that like Rhysand's like dead and then he wakes up and he's like, but wait, there's more, and like a magician, he like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, he like just like grabs like Amren out of the cauldron and he's like, look, she's back. Like no, she gave a good goodbye, you know. Varian accepted it, Feyre accepted it, Amren accepted it, and then it's like, just kidding, all that drama was for nothing because she's back. And then, you know, Cassian almost dies and Nesta tries to protect him with her actual body by throwing herself on him in front of the king, and it's like, that is so heartbreaking. And then he survives. I think honestly either Cassian or Amren should have, for my own selfish reasons. God, I'm happy that everyone survived because they're a family, an adorable ass family, and their city's so pretty and their lives are so cute, and I'm really happy that it ended the way that it did, even though for Sarah's sake, I think she should have gone a different direction. Like, I'm good with that. I thought like so many people were gonna die. I'm super, super satisfied and happy with this like ending, even though the story is going to continue from like probably other people's perspectives. So we're gonna see a continuation of what happens with these characters, I am assuming. But for now, until that does happen, this is a great point to like end on, even though there are a couple things that are not resolved. There are some relationships that are unresolved, like Lucien and Elaine, because I'm pretty sure that Azriel kind of has a crush on Elaine. And Elaine kind of seems to like warm to him more than Lucien, and Lucien like went and hung out with that like Firebird Queen, so there's something there. And like Moore still hasn't told Azriel that she's a lesbian, so like she has to find someone to be with. And like Nesta and Cassie never officially got together, though with them I'm at least satisfied because he laid it out on the table there like before dying, and like she kind of like accepted it and, you know, agreed without verbally agreeing that she felt the same way. So you just know that they're gonna get together, even though it's not explicitly stated. The other relationships and like Tamlin and Lucien's friendship and like things like that are just they're loose ends that need to be tied up. So the fact that we know that there's a trilogy coming out at least is reassuring, because or else I'd be like, what the hell? This isn't an ending. So yeah, I am sweating under my bangs right now from this light. I need to go take my makeup off and tie up my hair, because this is the third video I filmed today, which you can probably see. This is my last 3 videos. I'm assuming are gonna be in this exact same outfit. Not even trying to fool y'all. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and write in the comments down below if you read either of these books and what you thought about them. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in my next video.